Hello. Today lesson is about practice to convert units. I hope you got the main idea how to convert units. So today we will review the meaning of prefixes and then do the worksheet to practice to set up conversion factor and use it to convert the units. So the worksheet will be provided to you by Miss Ross, and here I'm going to show you one example from each set of problems. So there are 5 assignments on the worksheet that it's called scientific notation convert units, and I'm going to do one example from these 5 sets. I will also show you the sample on how to convert units of speed, because it's a little bit more complicated since there are ratio miles per hour or kilometers per hour. So I want you to understand how to convert units of speed. Okay, so the first example, if you look in your worksheet, you can see that there is 5,800 meters. And assignment says that you have to express it in scientific notation and then use the appropriate prefix to change the power of 10. So first, let's review what is scientific notation. Scientific notation is used in science to communicate, to express the measurements, and the number in scientific notation is always more than 1 but less than 10. So it's from 1 to 9, and everything else is expressed with the power of 10. So, for example, if we have 5,800 meters, to express it in scientific notation, as I mentioned earlier, the number has to be more than 1 but less than 10, so which makes it 5.8. So I'm going to put a decimal point, so 5.8. But I have to keep it equal, so 5,800 does not equal 5.8. That's why I'm going to put multiply, okay, and express and use the power of 10. So to make these two numbers equal, I have to multiply by the power of 10 of 3. 1, 2, 3. I have to move decimal places 3 times to the right, so the power of 10 is 3, and it's in meters. So then I'm going to use my knowledge of the prefixes, and the prefix that means 10 to the power of 3 is kilo, right? So instead of 10 to the positive 3, I'm going to put kilo, so which makes it 5.8 kilometers. Okay, so 5,800 meters equals 5.8 kilometers, or 5.8 times to the positive 3 meters. Okay, this the example from the sample 2. So 0.000508 kilograms. So to express it in scientific notation, again, we have to have a number that it's more than 1 but less than 10. So I have to place decimal point after 5. So 5.08 so times. So, and now to make these two numbers equal, because 0.00508 does not equal 5.08. So to make it equal, I have to multiply to the power of 10. And because I have to move the decimal point to the left, I'm going to put minus. And I have, from this place, I have to move it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. So it's 10 to the negative 4. Okay, kilograms. Well, because kilo is a prefix, so I cannot use two prefixes, okay? So that's the way I'm going to leave it, 5.08 10 to the negative 4 kilogram. So there is no prefix for 10 negative 4, okay? And even if there is one, so I cannot use two prefixes at the same time. That's why I will leave it this way. And that's the correct way to leave it. So the example A from a set of problems number 3. So 186,000 seconds. So to express it in scientific notation, it's going to be 1.86, okay, times 10 to the power of 5 seconds. So the reason why it's power of 5, because from this place I have to move decimal places 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times to the right to make these two numbers equal. So there is no prefixes that means 10 to the positive 5, but there is a prefix that means 10 to the positive 3. So to keep it in scientific notation, it's going to be 1.86 times 10 to the second to the power of 2, and then we still have 10 to the power of 3, so which is going to be kiloseconds. I can tell you that kiloseconds, it's a very rare unit to use. Okay, usually we would change it to minutes or hours, but to complete this assignment, that would be the correct way to do it. Okay, the set of problems in number 4 and 5 requires to convert units. Okay, so the first example is 1.1 centimeter to convert to meter. So that's when you need to make a conversion factor. Okay, so I assume that you figure out the prefixes, the meaning of prefixes now. So I don't think it should be a complicated assignment for you. So 1.1 centimeter. So to make a conversion factor, if you remember the rules that we wrote down on Friday, and you can look it in your notes, in your notebook. Okay, so we have to set up a ratio. That means that's what conversion factor means. And at the bottom we have to have a unit we want to cancel, and on top we want to have a unit that we need to leave in the answer. So which is meters. So now we need to put equal numbers because the whole ratio has to be equal 1. So 1 centimeter, and centi means 10 negative 2. So it's 10 negative 2 meters. If you use a conversion factor that 1 meter is 100 centimeters, it is correct. Okay, I want to be consistent, and I want to use the meaning of prefixes, and the prefix centi means 10 negative 2. That's the reason why I set up conversion factor this way. Okay, so now when I do math, after I've done math, so centimeters cancels out, and 1.1 centimeter equals to 1.1 times 10 negative 2 meters. 10 negative 2 meters. Okay, so that would be the answer for this problem. So now let's look at the set of problems number 5. It's a little bit more complicated because if you compare example number 4 and example number 5, you can see that this is centimeter to meters and this is microgram to kilogram. So we're going to change one prefix to another prefix. So when you change one prefix to another prefix, you have to change it and you have to go through the basic unit, through the base, which is going to be gram. So the gram is not basic unit of mass, but we have to change micrograms to grams first and then grams to kilograms secondly. So I'm going to do it above since I won't have enough room below, so I'm going to do it right here. So 7.23 microgram, 7.23 microgram. So to make a conversion factor, I'm going to multiply it, and at the bottom I'm going to put micrograms, and on top I'm going to put grams. So then but it's not my answer yet, so I'm going to put another conversion factor which will help me to change from grams to kilograms. And that's what I want in my answer. So you can see micrograms cancelled out, grams cancelled out. My answer is kilogram. So now I need to make equal numbers. So 1 microgram, and remember we don't use power of 10 next to the prefix. So I put 1 next to the prefix, and micro means 10 negative 6. Okay, and now 1 kilogram is 10 to the positive 3 grams. 10 to the positive 3. So in this case, we have 7.23 times 10, and 10 negative 6 and 10 positive 3 comes on top, so it becomes 10 negative 9 kilogram, and that's the final answer. Okay, so first I change it to grams, and then from grams I change it to kilograms. So this is number 3, power 3. Okay, so that's how you do the practice. So now to change the units of speed, if we change miles per hour to kilometers per hour, all we have to do is change miles to kilometers. So 75 miles per hour. To change to kilometers per hour, I have to multiply it by ratio, conversion factor. So I put miles at the bottom because that's what I want, that's what I have, and I put kilometers on top because that's what I need to get. So now I'm going to use the knowledge that 1 mile is 1.609 kilometer. So 1 mile is 1.609 kilometers. 609. So after I've done math, if I multiply 75 times 1.609, I'm going to get 120, okay, 0.675, but I'm going to round it up, so 0.7 kilometers per hour. Okay, 0.7 kilometers per hour. So we will cover the rules of significant figures later on. So, and I will explain why it should be 0.7. So in this example, I'll just take it as we know, as it is. So 120.7 kilometers per hour. So I changed miles to kilometers and I didn't do anything to hours. Okay. So to change meters per second, we will have to change kilometers to meters and seconds to hours. And I will do one more recording in a second video to show how to do that.